Hi YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere, it's Mark at GeorgeTune.com. I'm back with another Monday morning mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk some wet shaving and some other things. What do you got this morning? Hang on. Yeah, I got a really nice hot cup of Trader Joe's Autumn Maple Coffee. Boy, I love this stuff. Limited time on the shelves. I don't know if you have a Trader Joe's near you, but if you do, try this. This is great. What's really nice is when you open the bag, you get that nice maple and coffee aroma that kind of mixes together. You definitely get that maple hint there. It's really wonderful. And there is a nice maple aroma from the coffee after it's brewed. And it really is a nice, smooth cup of coffee. I like it a lot. Check out my my coffee mug here. It's a carousel. How about that? I won this as a door prize in a get-together with a bunch of cartoonists. Definitely, I had my pick of prizes, and I chose this coffee mug. Absolutely, going to choose a coffee mug every time. And the reason why I'm using it this morning is because a carousel, you'll often see carousels at Christmas time in movies and in storefronts, reminding us that Christmas is right around the corner. And I don't want to rush the holiday, but hey, Christmas will be here before you know it. And you'll probably want to think about doing some Christmas shopping. And if you have a wet shaver on your Christmas list, boy, companies out there are responding with some amazing wet shaving products. The surprising one this year is Gillette with their three-piece razor in this beautiful clamshell case right here. They give you a razor head, handle, and blades. Absolutely beautiful three-piece razor. Let me get this out here and show you. Mantic 59 did a lot of research and talked to the folks at Gillette when this was being released. The handle is made in the United States and the head is made in Germany. And I did a review on it. It gave me a beautiful, mild, and efficient shave. 2 passes and I was done. Really nice razor. The case feels a little bit like leather, although it's not leather. I mean, not soft leather, but it has a nice feel to it. And the inside has some nice soft felt. Has the Gillette logo inside and also the Gillette logo outside with the King Gillette signature across it. Really a terrific presentation, a really nice razor in a beautiful case that would make a great Christmas gift. Just wanted to mention that to you. And another one that is just a home run is the Vikings Blade Meiji Emperor Adjustable Razor. Emperor Adjustable Razor, Meiji Edition. And this is another absolutely beautiful razor. This is a shorter handled version of their Emperor Razor series. Adjustable from 1 to 9. Twist to open, a beautiful bronze and black color scheme with this beautiful red ring here. Named after Emperor Meiji of Japan. Just an absolutely wonderful razor. I had 2 BBS shaves in a row with this. I mean, 3 passes and I had a BBS shave. And as they say, don't try to find the BBS will find you. When I use this razor, the BBS found me twice in a row. Really terrific razor. So you might want to check this one out too. Would make a great gift for the wet shaver in your life as well. Just wanted to mention those to you because, hey, Christmas, before you know it, it's going to be here. And we lose a week of shopping because Thanksgiving is so late this year. So we have one last week of shopping. I don't want to rush it, but I'm just saying, you might want to start thinking about some Christmas shopping. And because of the explosion of the traditional wet shave, there is a lot of new stuff out there. And that's really great to see. All right, let's get to some of these questions here. The first comment comes from Ron Culliner. He says, "Hi Mark, found this interesting, thought you might like it too. Best, Ron." Well, he sent me a link to a video on YouTube called How It's Made Butterfly Safety Razors. It's a 5-minute video. I'll link it below. Check it out. Very interesting. Takes you inside the Merkur factory where they're making the Merkur Vision adjustable razor. Now, they don't manufacture that razor anymore because it was complicated to make. It cost a lot to make. It cost a lot to sell. It had some stumbling blocks there from what I understand. But the folks who did buy that razor claim it gives an absolutely wonderful, wonderful shave. Now, if you Google Merkur Vision, you'll get a lot of images and some information here and there. But look at the images and you'll see what it looks like. It reminds me, being a cartoonist, it reminds me of Popeye because of the bulbous ends on the handle. You know, Popeye's large forearms. Yeah, a larger adjustable safety razor that was really had a lot of parts that needed to be assembled and cost quite a bit to manufacture and cost quite a bit out there in the marketplace. But as I say, a lot of wet shavers really like that razor. If you're at a yard sale or an estate sale and you see it for a couple of bucks, boy, lucky you, grab it, because I hear it just gives an absolutely wonderful shave. And I'm always on the lookout for one. Had a chance to get one a couple of years ago, but the seller wanted just a little too much money for it. I think he realized what he had. So I just wanted to pass it on. Thanks very much, Ron. I really do appreciate the comment. And again, I'll link the video below. Take a look at it. It's only 5 minutes. Really interesting video. This next question comes from TD Witt. How do you clean your 3-piece and twist-to-open razors after use? Also, how do you clean your blades after use? Thanks, Tim. Tim, thanks for the question. Well, you know, with my 3-piece razor, I can show you with the Gillette 3-piece razor, here's the process that I do. After I'm done shaving, I usually have the clean towel here where I've cleaned off my face, that sort of thing. And what I'll do is I'll disassemble my 3-piece razor. I will remove the razor blade. Now, in removing the razor blade, then I will take it and I will just pat it dry in a towel and get the excess water off it. I will not rub the blade. I'll pat it dry. Then I go about, with this clean towel, I go about drying off the handle. I'll dry the handle. I'll dry the base plate. I'll dry the base plate. I'll dry the cap. I'll get in between these posts here, in between all those posts. I'll dry that off very well. And then I will reassemble everything. If I'm going to use the blade the next day, I'll reinsert the blade and reassemble it with the blade. Maybe it's my first shave with the blade. I can get maybe 2 or 3 shaves from that blade. So I'll reassemble it. Everything is nice and dry. I'll hang it on my razor stand. I'm done. For my twist-to-open razors, and I'll show you with the Emperor Meiji, all I do is, again, I'll open it up. I'll take out the blade. I'll pat the blade dry. And then, again, with a towel, very gently, I'll go about just drying off the doors, the handle, that sort of thing. If I need to get into the base plate here a little bit, you know, maybe there's a little bit of moisture there, I'll get a Q-tip and I'll just run that in there very gently and throughout. And this is after every shave. Make sure it's nice and dry. I'll take my blade, I'll reinsert it, and with the doors open, I'll place that on my razor stand. I'll go about making my breakfast and doing whatever I have to do before I go out the door to the office. I come back into the bathroom to take care of a few things. I will then close the doors and then hang down on the stand because I know everything's dry. And it's ready for the next day. If I'm not using the blade, if the blade has 3 or 4 uses on it and I want to get a new blade, then I'll toss the blade and I'll just close it up and put that on the razor stand. So that's how I clean a twist-to-open razor. Now, you didn't ask about 2-piece razors, but I'm going to show you 2-piece razors like the Merkur HD34C. This is a 2-piece razor where it has an inner barrel here, and the cap has a long threaded post that attaches to this inner barrel that's inside the handle, and the base plate is attached. So what I'll do is I'll disassemble the cap, and then I'll slide the inner barrel off, and I will dry this off as well. And then using a Q-tip, I'll go in and I'll dry the insides of that. I'll dry the cap off. Again, pat the blade dry. If I'm using the blade again, I'll reinstall the blade on there, and then I will reinstall the inner barrel. Now there is a spring clip right here on the end. Then all you have to do is squeeze that close, and then just insert it like that, and then thread it back on, and you're good to go. Now, just to show you the spring clip, all that does is keep the barrel held in place like that. Without the spring clip, the barrel would fall out. It would still thread onto the cap. It's just that it's convenient to have the spring clip there. Same thing with the Progress. The Progress cleans the same way. You know, loosen it up, remove the cap, you know, clean out the inside, that sort of thing. And I do that pretty much after every shave with these razors. And of course, when I reassemble the head, I make sure that the hash mark and the triangle here match up. That way it adjusts correctly and it's calibrated correctly, so to speak. That's how I adjust two-piece razors. One exception to this rule is the Parker variant. The Parker variant is designed very much like the Merkur Progress, same kind of setup. I won't remove this each time. The spring clip sits on that shaft a little differently, and to get that back inside the handle, so to speak, you have to, it's very difficult to do by squeezing with your fingers. I have found I've had to get a small needle nose plier, something that a jeweler would use, to squeeze that on to insert that. It's a little more difficult. So I don't clean out the insides of it every single time after a use. I'll do it maybe after 3 or 4 uses, or whenever I think it needs to be done. Only because that inner barrel is very difficult to squeeze on just using your fingers. You have to get a small needle nose pliers to squeeze that so that you can insert it back into the handle. So that's just a tip about the Parker variant, and that's how I clean a lot of my my safety razors, and I hope you found that helpful. Thanks very much for the question. I really do appreciate it. Okay, this next question comes from David Bailey. Can you please compare the Viking Augustus to the Meiji on a future video? I am trying to decide which one to get. I love your videos and value your advice on shaving. Hey, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. New to wet shaving and double-edged razors, my skin type is sensitive. I have some irritation, but since trying a safety razor, it is a lot less. That's great to hear. I presently have the Q-Shave adjustable razor, but can't get a close shave always. I am also experimenting with different blades. That's a good thing too. I have stable left behind. I don't know what that means. And if I do a 4-pass, I get irritation. Thanks in advance. I hope to see you in the new video. I don't know what that was. Might have been a typo of some kind. Can't really interpret that, but 4 passes. Okay, for me, when I came back to the traditional wet shave, I started with 3 passes. I started with the Vikings Blade Chieftain razor because that was nice and neutral for me. And I found that over time, my skin needed to adapt to the traditional wet shave. It just needed to adapt. I was using an electric razor for years. My skin was very dry. And I found that just doing the traditional wet shave, over a 2-month period or so, my skin really started to adapt to where the shaves got better and better and better and better. Now, you're using a Q-Shave adjustable razor, which is patterned and cloned right after the Merkur Futur, which is what I have here. Now, the Q-Shave is a little lighter than the Futur, but pretty much the same. I think the quality control on the Futur is much, much better than the Q-Shave, but they are very similar. A lot of folks consider the Futur and also the Q-Shave to be not as maneuverable and a bit more cumbersome for the traditional wet shave. I really haven't found that. I think it's a very good razor. Some wet shavers find it to be not as maneuverable as other safety razors. Having said that, I can tell you that the Meiji is very, very maneuverable. Let's compare it real quickly to the Augustus, and you can see that the Augustus is a longer handled razor than the Meiji. It is heavier. This does have a lot of heft though. The Meiji does have a lot of heft, but I do think that the shorter handle plus the weight of it make it very maneuverable. And they're both maneuverable. It's just that I think the shorter handle does change the angle of approach a little bit, where some wet shavers might find it a little more efficient. Also, it depends on the size of your hands. If you have larger hands, you probably want to go with something with a larger handle like the Augustus. If you have average size hands, this will work out for you. I see no difference. I like them both. I'll just show you the Augustus next to the Futur, and you can see that you're looking at a handle size of the same length handle size. So that's something that you can look at on your Q-Shave. The Q-Shave is identical in size to the Merkur Futur, so you know, same handle length there. Here is the Futur or Q-Shave, so to speak, against the Meiji, and you can see that it is a little bit longer, so you're not really losing much handle length. Let's talk about the razor head here. The razor heads are absolutely identical, sculpted on one side and straight on the other side, so you have that great dual head. So the razor heads are identical. Calibration is identical, 1 to 9, 9 being the most aggressive, 1 being the mildest. And you can feel the blade throughout the 1 to 9 setting on each of these. Although, again, I think this gives me a little more feel of the blade because of the angle of approach, maybe a little bit more. The knurling is a little different also. The knurling pattern on this is nice and deep and flat, so to speak. But the knurling pattern on the Meiji is nice and deep, but it has an extra layer of knurling there, almost like a diamond pattern knurling on top of that. So there is a little extra grippiness to it, and I think they did that because of the shorter handle. But that's really the main differences in the razors. They're both very, very good. Just depends on whether you want something a little longer, a little heavier, or a little shorter, more compact. Could be a little more maneuverable for you. And that's really the differences between the two. I hope that helps you make a choice. They're both great razors. However, I think each of these are probably going to be a little more maneuverable than the Q-Shave. As I say, some wet shavers find this to be not as maneuverable as a traditional safety razor. This is a good razor, but you know, some wet shavers say, not a little bit cumbersome. You know, your mileage may vary. All right, hey, that's it. Thanks very, very much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like, hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below, let me know. Check out my blog, georgetoon.com/blog for my comic strip George, other cartoons, other videos like this. Check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/Mark Zerady, where you'll find all the products I review on this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. Thanks very, very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.